Another year down the shitter, and all I had for lunch was an old stack of bologna. I need to narrow down a rowdy ass list of movies into 5 favorites because time stops for nada. This year was a crime scene. Everyone got caught in the crossfire. Even me. Can't even make a list of movies you liked anymore. It's not a movie, it's a content block. A morsel to satiate an itch in exchange for advertising revenue. Words used to mean stuff. What even happened in 2024? Was this year even real? I poured another glass of prime to turn my nerves into somewhat less functional nerves. The strategy of men was too much on their minds. YouTube is a business that takes everything from ya and leaves you with your palm outstretched. A penniless joke with an energy drink deficiency. Wait, something was amiss. What was it that dame said to me earlier? Don't fall in love. Something about setting it free. Wish I'd written it down. I switched the swell at the bottom of the prime bottle and wondered how I'd even ever find 5 suspects. I was met face to face with a battered year of movies. I didn't come here for this. Not like this. I gotta find 5 suspects, starting with oh God, no. Ugh. It started over the Rebel Moon. This year I'm talking about every single movie we watched in the order we watched them. Some of this list is very stupid, starting with Rebel Moon. Though technically part 2, but I'm not even going to pretend the distinction is relevant. In our Snyder Cut Infused Watch Time Wasteland era, Zack Snyder brings every off-brand action figure into the bathtub on this one. Being honest, watching part 2 felt kind of like a chore to me. If you want to riff with Rebel Moon, throw on Gunship and put it on mute. It's beautiful, but interacting with it on a narrative level is basically overanalyzing Captain Planet. Just take it at face value and jog the hell on. Like I'm about to do. A movie series that's probably for 9-year-olds pairs great with Fortnite. This is quite a hefty list, so we're gonna have to move on. There are more suspects to uncover. And then I met a monkey man. Dev Patel brings 1000% of himself as an action director and started this film. An absolute perfect time at the movies is what I would say if there wasn't some weird digital editing tomfoolery to mask some political viewpoints in release, and the digital censorship stuff is a whole ass can of worms. Normally I wouldn't talk about this, but this movie rules so hard. The through line is, as first films go, even outside of the release trash, it still absolutely motors as an action film and as a Dev Patel vehicle. But I did have my eye on another suspect. And then, Lisa Monsterface walked into my office. This movie was quite polarizing, and that is a recipe for a movie Mikey loves, so there you go. Lisa Frankenstein was written by Diablo Cody and directed by Zelda Williams. Yes, that one. A demented movie that absolutely lives up to its pedigree. 80s film pastiche done in service of the narrative and as over-the-top commentary on the absolutely reckless parenting style of the decade. A classic. Watch it every Halloween, watch it every Christmas, watch it on your birthday. I don't care. Be prepared for this to become some people's entire personality come the year of our Lord 2025 and beyond. Time doesn't heal all wounds, time is the wound. I can't wait to worship at the altar of your creepy cemetery statue in my twilight hours.
And this pre-storm calm was just sort of the stuff at the beginning of the year, premeditating the avalanche of blockbusters.
It's about to get pretty rank in here. Put on your big boy pants. And then I went looking for a Dune.
Taken both parts together, Dune is an accomplishment for the ages. End sentence, end review, there you go. A story of how the power can corrupt even prophesized actions put in careful-ish motion thousands of years ahead of time. Dune is a spectacle, but also an engagingly simplified view of the nature of power. The speedrun walkthrough of how the right reason will inevitably become the wrong reason. Oh, and sandworm writing is probably that actually would have been the easiest way to sell you on this movie. Sure, power dynamics, come for the cleverness, stay for the sandworm writing. This is the IMAX trick of the year, if not for the many impressive IMAX tricks this year. A perfectly cast action event of the season with a narrative that people probably won't reflect on too deeply, even if they probably should. Ask your heroes who they are.
I wasn't gonna be the fall guy.
You were there when I needed you the most. Ryan Gosling can make a movie. I was gonna say more words after that and then just really let it hang. A brisk under 2 hour celebration of the art form of stunt work in the film industry. Also, a remake of the TV show from the 60s, ? What's up, America? Put a brand on that shit.
How could I possibly understand what it is? I'm a lowly Gen Z, and my father won't stop talking about Lee Majors.
David Leitch delivers an absolute charmer with some really impressive stunts from start to finish. A visual spectacle and a popcorn vacuum. I really enjoy The Fall Guy. And just like that, I realized, was it all about to crumble?
It was time for a civil war.
We were in Dallas and I remember asking my friend Jeff, who had just seen Civil War, what he thought about it, and he said it was the best movie he never wanted to see again. Also, shout out, it was a fantastic film. Then I saw it. Those words haunt me like this movie haunts me, a movie that absolutely never does the thing that an entire country wanted it to do. It didn't validate a single entrenched position in American politics and tried to focus solely on the machinations of a country like America entering another civil war. The feel like absolute shit movie of the year. What kind of American are you? A movie that weaponizes your own empathy against you. An incredible, breathtaking accomplishment that I absolutely never want to see again. Next on the list, please.
Because I was getting furious.
You can't really discuss this movie in a material way without opening with, it's not Fury Road. Something that works to complicate this narrative into something deeper than a Max film would really ever attempt to be. It also doesn't live up to the spectacle of the practical effects jammed Fury Road. This movie just felt less tangible to me, to put a finer point on it. More interesting narrative, less impressive photography. Nature of the beast, I reckon. I liked this, but I didn't love it like I wanted to. And maybe I'll feel a greater need to revisit it in time. Let me know in the comments, but it didn't grab me in a sea of movies trying to grab you.
Her name was Abigail.
The killer little girl movie of the year. I mean that in the best possible way. Call your friends, order some pizzas, and absolutely don't waste your time talking about the deeper themes. A perfect popcorn and friends type shit. Wow, wouldn't it be both hilarious and scary if the little ballerina girl was an immortal vampire helper? Oh jeez. Oh, I'm bleeding a lot. I'm gonna need a band-aid. Oh, shit.
Perhaps a tarot card.
Yeah, we watched this. Yeah, why not? I said we're putting all the movies, so we're putting all the movies. This was our Watch a Not Great Movie Night movie one week. I wanted to comment on how good this movie looks for only costing $8 million. It made like 50 million worldwide. These are the kind of movies that keep the business going, I'm sorry to say. Avoid if you're looking for cinematic majesty, not a good movie really, but I was impressed by it.
There was always riding bikes, the bike riders.
A really, really solid movie with incredible performances across the board. But it's difficult to say this is a movie you haven't seen before. The platonic ideal of the oops, actually the gang life is bad actually movie. Not for everyone clearly, but very good. I don't feel like I really came into contact with that many people this year that had strong feelings about this one. Let me know in the comments if you did. Next.
We called them long legs, because his legs are long.
Nicolas Cage determined long ago that he was going to go for it to the maximum of his ability for any character he is hired to play. His career is, and of itself, performance art. Longlegs puts another trophy on the wall, an absolute squirm out of your soul kind of movie. Loved it, but I understand if it bounced off some people.
I fell into a trap.
Hey, Knight. Hey, Josh. Thank you. All of you understood the assignment, and I had a blast when I went to see Trap. A movie everyone in our group couldn't even agree on. A real murder in the camp degree Hitchcock banger. If you want good Shyamalan again, Trap is a 3-course meal. I liked it quite a lot. Take me to camp.
Come closer.
Twisters. That's the second one.
This one is interesting. I caught this movie later on demand. We catch a lot of movies like that now. Disability is what it is. So I'm seeing this movie not through 40x colored glasses. I love the original Twisters, so there really wasn't a whole lot this movie was gonna have to do to make me like it. Thinking back on the original, it was yet another groundbreaking CGI moment in film where we realized something we never had before. So Twisters is driving uphill. CGI weather isn't exactly a shiny new toy. I think it was really smart to focus on character here. I mean, in the same way that the original Twister did. Even at home, this movie gave me the right kind of nostalgia, even without all the 40x. A fun time at the movies. Put bona fide movie stars in your movie, a super solid execution of a half-baked legacy pseudo-sequel remake idea thing. Way better than it should have been.
Beetlejuice. That's the second one.
I actually skipped seeing this one in the theater on purpose. I love Michael Keaton too much to live through The Flash ever again. I only get so many movie theater movies a year, and I was wrong. I laughed end to end, and with what I can only assume was a difficult assignment, Tim Burton post Dumbo is still there. Maybe he's a cheekier, goofier version of the filmmaker we used to know. Call me old-fashioned, bring on that third Beetlejuice movie. I would watch another comedy set. Because do not come for the culmination of Beetlejuice lore you've waited your whole life to see realized. You will be disappointed. Moving on.
I saw the TV glow, yeah.
A movie kind of about watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer and wanting to live in the world of horror because it will accept you in the way the real world will not. A tremendous film about the necessity of nostalgia to bring us through the darker spaces. The Pink Opaque. Or wait, did we make it through the
Darkest space.
Not a straightforward film, though a horror film depending on what you bring to the assignment, a mirror of ourselves distorted. I saw the TV glow, but
Did it see me?
A movie that is still haunting a great many people.
I was the woman of the hour.
Anna Kendrick in her directorial debut, rocking a full Affleck by also being the main actor in the film. In the age of the streaming movie and theatrical distribution kind of fading, it's nice to see a simple attempt to engross us in the texture of an incredible, strange tale. Cannot wait to see what's next for Kendrick as a director.
The Remarkable Life of Evelyn. What a film.
This movie reduced me to a sobbing mess. True fact, when the movie ended, it was the only obvious choice to throw on this list and make the first of the Fave Fives. A Portrait of Life, A Secret Life, and The Measure of a Person. All somehow told through the language of World of Warcraft. A documentary for the ages that captures a moment in time that no longer exists. Honestly, the job it does in recreating these moments is remarkable. A story where every emotion will fly out of you like a sail on the open ocean. A truly miraculous achievement. Absolutely go watch this film. It's on Netflix. Full endorsement.
She was always telling me there was kinds of kindness. I'm like, what?
Yorgos Lanthimos, the director of Poor Things, back at it again with a black comedy triptych fable. Yeah, sure, trip fable, that's all the new hotness. This film is certainly polarizing in its absurdist portrayal of the lengths we go to find satisfaction in our lives. Who really benefits from our eternal struggle? I guess you could say there are different kinds of kindness.
I look down at the floor. Love lies bleeding.
Way better than the Roadhouse remake. A statement kind of true on multiple vectors. A gayer Roadhouse than Roadhouse. There, a perfect review, 10 out of 10.
Alien Romulus. That's the second one.
I would be lying if I didn't say I find pretty much anything alien quite triggering. Having said that, I liked this movie quite a lot. It crawled into the small, neglected corners of a dystopian Utani wasteland and had fun. Certainly room to improve. Bring on a sequel. Kaylee Spaney is the star. Moving on.
Deadpool and Wolverine. That's the second. Okay, I'll stop.
I think Deadpool is in a hard spot. Hilarious time at the movies, but every time the Marvel Jesus thing came up, I retched just a little. Deadpool ain't save Marvel. He got in some really good jabs at 20th Century Fox, though. Chris Evans' cameo of the century, a movie that gives you exactly what you want, a cameo machine gun and a bunch of very silly jokes that do land, but ultimately an empty calorie that really just kind of chewed on the only paddle Marvel had left in the water. I'm still pretty bearish on Marvel, I'm sorry. This was a fun movie. Okay, so less fun.
She took me down to this place called Megalopolis.
I wish I could say that Megalopolis was the perfect movie to illustrate the state of our evolving film industry, a movie that holds out its hand like it can't figure out how to make existence work. Alas, Adam Driver. A movie that blatantly oversimplifies life, society, invention, cooperation, like you name it. A 12er of Rolling Rock with your buds kind of movie if there ever was one. WoW Platinum for life buried the lead, a gorgeous, full-throated disaster.
The Crow.
A remake of The Crow that kind of fails to understand any of the emotional fabric of the universe of The Crow. You know, here's my actual review. A very easy skip at the movie theater because My Chemical Romance isn't even on the soundtrack. Full fail. Though, given that we did get a double feature that night, I can say with certainty that the Chrome remake was better than
Joker 2, that's the second one. Sorry, that one was right there.
I saw Tarantino talking about how Todd Phillips was actually the Joker for this one or whatever the hell. Nah, I'm a no on 2, and I liked the first one for the grand Scorsesean photography experiment. The Joker is a criminal, you see? Oh, it's the same picture. Oh, yeah, no, we all got it. It's clever, single layer kind of bit. Joker 2 could have done Spielberg. Joker 2 could have done Agnes Varda. Hilarious. Friggin', they could have done Wes Anderson. Anything that built on the original premise at least a little. I expected too much from this franchise that was actually supposed to go for it. You all told us you were gonna go for it, right? Like, that was the whole thing. Honest review. Joker Fallait deux is definitely a movie from the writer and director of The Hangover 2. If this movie is doing anything, it's early 2000s Grisham courtroom drama where they'd already kind of lost the magic. A first draft of a film that wastes Lady Gaga as Harleen Quinzel. A sin. A full-blown sin. Nah. Moving on.
There they were, hundreds of beavers.
They don't make movies like this anymore. A slapstick revival masterpiece, a living cartoon without a mean bone in its body. Throw it on for the kids every Christmas. An extremely lovable slapstick explosion, and unlike a lot of movies on this list, actually knew what it was.
I didn't know what I was holding. The substance, they said.
Bring your dad to this art house, Titan. Demi Moore, don't call it a comeback's her way to the pinnacle of the body horror pile. No one goes this hard. Margaret Qualley and Demi Moore deserve awards we haven't invented yet. Love to the substance. Classic.
I didn't know I was only getting half a movie. Nobody told me that.
I got kind of dragged to this because Wicked was never really my speed. Pleased to report that I like this quite a lot. It works by being as extremely theater kid extra as possible, so expect this to become many people's entire personality in 2025. Come for the press tour, stay for the movie. I've never reviewed a movie like that, but absolutely it's true here.
Gladiator, the second one.
Saw this over Christmas break. I think it's pretty cool to stage the sequel as Rome jumping the shark for Colosseum games as the walls start to burn down. The best straight-to-video movie I've ever seen. Instant rental. Check it out at your local Blockbuster today.
Juror, the second. Okay, juror number 2.
It was a fascination with the US justice system that brought me to the second juror number 2, if you will. I saw this because Clint Eastwood, believe it or not, was a really sharp filmmaker once upon a time, though in recent years he has gotten himself into trouble by oversimplifying the world while simultaneously having a discussion with dining room furniture. It's a difficult balance. Having said all that crap, I liked this movie. It's a little too on the nose, to be blunt. Nicholas Hoult, even through an ocean of ADR, makes this movie watchable and a lot of fun. And even better, it's a better courtroom drama than Joker 2. Don't watch this with an actual lawyer, and if you do, bring a present so they don't hate you.
I fought the Conclave, and the Conclave won.
This movie caught me by surprise, even against the avalanche of people telling me to see it. Catholic dramas are really just not my thing, and I could not have been wronger on this one. Holy shit, this movie. See immediately. Every performance across the board is all time. Gorgeous like movies don't look anymore. I'm putting my Oscar bet on this one. I don't know. Conclave caught me by wild surprise.
I just kept thinking, this guy's a real pain.
Jesse Eisenberg stuns as a writer-director who basically makes an entire movie about how incredible Kieran Culkin is as an actor, a buddy road trip comedy that super cooks. Eisenberg writing with Culkin's acting is a beautiful, delicate ballet, a film about the Jewish experience and how time festers wounds. The dialogue in this movie is stunning. My dinner with Andre on the first-class dining cart. To quote my friend from earlier, time is the wound. Nosferatu. Another Robert Eggers banger, full stop. A movie that expands on the 1922 original in interesting ways. I thought the side characters kind of stole the show here, but based on some of the reviews I've been getting, mileage is gonna vary. I thought Aaron Taylor Johnson was his career best. Nosferatu exists because the filmmakers in 22 couldn't get the rights to Dracula. That's it. Nosferatu is such a strange historical artifact to surge on through history in this way. Count Orlok finally sees his joyous return to the main stage. Sorry, Dracula. A glorious film to look at, a vision of precision and grace. I think to definitely check it out. And that is the whole list of films we saw this year come to an end. I tried to see The Brutalist, but I just stared at a square concrete building and hoped that was close enough.
So with that, I had to pick 5. When the dust finally settled on a truly unhinged year for film, I knew I needed 5 answers to questions that were haunting me full time. As always, it wasn't the best movies that came out last year. I had to point the finger at a quintet of films before the end of the day.
Okay, my first favorite movie of the year is The Remarkable Life of Evelyn. It's not the most traditional movie, but it wrapped me up in the magic of filmmaking. A film from Benjamin Ree and an advocacy for the disability community. The way this film recreates all these moments in a game, so many of us spent hundreds, if not thousands of hours in. If you spent any amounts of time in various iterations of World of Warcraft, this is the video game movie that will hit you in the heart. This is by no means an easy watch, but I put it on my list to showcase the resiliency of the human spirit to find a way to exist. Astounding, full measures, give it up and keep it going. Yeah, keep it going. Coming in at the second on my list of favorites is a movie I haven't stopped thinking about all year. I saw The TV Glow. Making a psychological horror film that lives just enough in the margins to stay under your skin for the rest of your life is an almost impossible horror movie accomplishment. Doing that on an infinitesimal budget on your first major film is something they hang your jersey in the rafters for. The movie 2024 needed, and Amber Benson showing up healed my little Buffy heart a little. All-time cameo in kind of a year of them. A film written and directed by Jane Schoenbrunn about the safety of the space we go to hide. Unsure of just how to express ourselves. Once we go to the pink opaque, do we ever come back? A beautiful, haunting, sharp journey into a lot of people's souls. The second easy movie to throw on here because, oh god, I can only choose 3 more. Fetch me a prime page. And after 2 more bottles of this stuff, I did finally land on a number 3. Denis Villeneuve is doing not just the impossible, but putting on a clinic for everyone who has ever had to adapt unadaptable books. Dune is a story that is definitely not for everyone, but as a weird life obsession many of us maintained for decades, to see it pulled off so grandly, it didn't dumb it down either. These books are sort of, dense as concrete. I really enjoyed the first two, and I'm sure I'm going to adore seeing Messiah happen. I love Dune, and this is as perfect as anyone could have taken on something like this. A story of the superdrug that destroyed all empires in the galaxy. This went wrong for so long, and a careful carve out here for both David Lynch and the sci-fi originals, but I want to take a moment to appreciate how rare this achievement is. Duncan, Idaho for Worm President buried the lead. Dunny, you killed it, and you're about to do a victory lap. I'm going to carry the Dev Patel banner to the ends of the earth, a rousing introduction to the action cinema scene. I will never look at a ballpoint pen the same way again. Holy Christmas. Give Dev Die Hard, Disney. It's a lot of D's. When you all get your new yachts, you can thank me later. Monkey Man was a film I always had on the fringes of the fave list because there was an asterisk next to it for all the last-second political CG alterations. Dev already fired the shot into the public record. I also think it makes the movie have less teeth. It also has like 4 full mouths of incredibly sharp teeth. A phenomenal action film that I think quite a few people slept on. I am here for Dev's next movie. No question, day one. If you missed this, check it out. You'll thank me later. The Substance. Finally, someone making a truly unhinged horror movie in the 2020s. My God, I had a great time with The Substance, a surprisingly relatable morality tale about humans. Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley should just start the more Qualley buddy movie era. Coralie Farja writes and directs about chasing the thing you used to be while someone chases the thing they wish they were. An instant classic. Take me to camp, toss me the marshmallows. The grossest, most beautiful movie, a paradox.